Hey, this is Dave, and together with my brother Rich and my son Caleb, we renovate houses and we show you ways to do a job yourself and save a lot of money in the process. Today, we're going to show you how to install a USB wall plug outlet, changing out an existing outlet and putting in an outlet with USB ports as well as the regular outlet plugs. All right, the tools that we're going to use today, here's a smattering of them. These two are testers, and then we've got wire cutters. We've got some pliers here. We're going to need some needle nose pliers, and I also have screwdriver ends on either side of here. And of course, we've got our drill. We're going to use that probably most commonly. And then last but not least, what we have here is a 15 amp USB outlet, and it also says tamper resistant, and that has to do with there's a cover inside each of these plugs. It makes them hard for kids to get their get toys or things in there because they have to be pressed together. Those side portions right there are the USB outlets that are on the outlet itself. And so let's get started. To do any job that involves electricity, the first thing we want to make sure we do is turn off this outlet. And to do that, we have to go to the fuse panel. This is our fuse panel. To determine what your breaker size is, you can look on the end of the handle right there, and there's either a 15 or a 20 typically, and then if your other ones are larger, like these up here are 30s. But that's how we know that we're dealing with a 15 amp circuit, and then we want to put a 15 amp plug. It has to do with the wiring size behind it and how much energy it carries. So you want to know that information before getting started. First thing we're going to do is turn off this circuit, and that's in off position. We'll go check. All right, we indeed did turn off the right circuit, and there's no lights there, so we know that that one is dead. We're just going to take off the cover for the outlet so we can get to it. No. We got our outlet from Amazon. As an Amazon associate, we earn from qualifying purchases. If you need one of these USB outlets, just check out our link below.
I think those little nails don't touch because they will zap you, right?
Right, I turned it off, turned the power off. All right, so now we've undone the screws on either side, and we can pull the outlet out now, and you can see all the wires exposed. Now, before we get close to those wires, we want to double check and make sure the power is indeed off. So we use our fluke tester here, and it's blinking, which just means the tester is on, but there's no power to any of those lines. And that's always a good thing to check, just as a double check before you get into taking those off. Of course, the outlet I picked has wires galore on it, so what we're going to have to do might be a little different than your situation, but we're going to pigtail these together, and I'll show you what that means in a second. The gold side is the hot side, and that's the neutral side. Now all the back stabs I'm just going to cut off, and then this is our ground. And the ground usually goes to a green screw right there. Right now we use these wire cutters, and there's gauges on the wire cutters. It's 15 amp wire, 14 gauge. And so we want to go ahead and strip the casing off of each wire. Now if we didn't have all these extra wires on this outlet because they're running to other places, then this would be a lot faster. But because it has all these extra wires, we're doing a little bit of extra work. But nonetheless, it's something that will make this a much more functional outlet in the future once we have the USB ports on them. All right, so I got another piece of extra wire, black wire, and I'm going to put these three together. And basically what I'm doing is making a pigtail to bring those together, and then we'll have one wire coming from those two that will go to our new outlet. And then now all the ends of these are going on terminals. I put a bend in it so that we can attach it to the terminal. And so the end of that copper is about 1 inch long. And the ones we're going to backstab into those holes right there, those need to be a little over 1/2 inch long. And that's what the directions say. All right, so this black is going to go on our gold terminal, just like in the previous one. And we just have to hook that around the back of the screw. All right, so once you tighten the screw, then those back stabs lock in on this particular outlet. That's how they work. And so now all of that is tight. So now we're going to go to this side. Okay, same thing. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen the screw on this side. Gotta be careful not to unloosen that screw too far. And then we'll stab that one in there. And this one in here. And then we just tighten the screw. Then we test. Pull on the backs of those. Both of those are tight. Okay, the last thing we have to do before we put this back in is to connect this wire, which is our ground, to the green screw right there. And so we're just going to make a loop on this one. Let's grab it with the needle nose pliers, bend it around, makes the loop, and then we'll hook it on to our screw. And with any of these outlets, it's always a game of getting it around there, but you want to get a good solid connection before you tighten that screw. That one's good. Now we just got to fit it all back into the box. And these wires fold back in just like they were originally. All right, before we test it, we're going to go ahead and screw this back into its position. And once all that gets snugged in there, we'll go turn the circuit back on and we'll use our tester. All right, we flipped the circuit back on, and already there's a pretty good indication because this one comes with a light that's right there, glowing green. That shows that we have power on that outlet, but nonetheless, before we mess with it, we're going to go ahead and put our tester in. And this will tell us if we left it open ground, did some wiring that was wrong. Two orange lights are good. So it's real happy to see that. And you notice it's hard for me. You can see how hard that is to push in there. These tamper resistant outlets are a lot harder to get something into, a plug or whatever, but they're made to protect children, so that's why. Now you notice this has a square face on it, so that it comes with its own new plate. Right, so it has a kind of a fairly complicated cover plate, but what they're doing is they're allowing you to screw it in to the outlet using these little screws that they provide. And then once you have done that, once we've done that, now we can go ahead and hide everything because this has built-in fasteners, and it's going to make it a real seamless final look. Yeah, it looks really good. What's really cool about these is that you can get a quicker charge by using a power outlet, a wall outlet with USBs on it, as opposed to just your typical adapter that comes with a particular product. All right, now all we gotta do is plug in our USB. There's our phone. We're charged and good to go. It really wasn't that difficult of a project, And boy, is it nice to have something like this that's really convenient and can provide the charge you need in a quicker amount of time. Hope this video helps. If you got any questions, go ahead and let us know. Leave us a question in the comment section below and we'll get back with you as soon as we can. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We've got lots more videos coming. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again next time.